Somewhere in San Francisco right now, a child is sitting in front of a screen, not watching YouTube, not playing games, being taught by an AI. Their parent is a venture capitalist who helped fund the technology reshaping this country, and they've decided the future is good enough for their kid. Most Americans don't trust AI. Surveys consistently show skepticism. People have watched AI hallucinate facts, misread medical scans, and yes, confidently suggest unsafe pizza toppings. Trust is not exactly high. But trust, it turns out, is a luxury item. And for a certain class of American family, the question isn't whether AI is ready. It's whether their child can afford to wait. Companies like Alpha School and Forge Prep are charging families anywhere from $20,000 to $50,000 a year to put their children inside what they're calling the next evolution of education. AI tutors, personalized learning paths, interactive project-based workshops, traditional teachers largely optional. Alpha School, based in Austin, Texas, claims that students spend just 2 hours a day on core academics, driven entirely by AI, and the rest of the day on real-world skills. Forge Prep targets high schoolers preparing for elite college admissions, using AI to simulate Socratic dialogue and accelerate critical thinking. Silicon Valley has been the loudest adopter. Sean Johnson, a San Francisco-based venture capitalist, pulled his kids from traditional school and enrolled them in one of these programs. He's not alone. The same tech investors who funded the AI tools reshaping the workforce are now using those tools on their own children. There's something worth pausing on here. The people with the most insight into how powerful and how unreliable AI actually is are choosing to bet their children's education on it. That's either a ringing endorsement or a deeply unsettling sign of how detached this class has become from consequence. Now, let's talk about who this actually affects. Right now, it's a small, wealthy cohort. Families who can absorb the risk if the experiment fails, who have safety nets measured in stock portfolios, not savings accounts. But education experiments don't stay contained. Charter schools started as experiments. Standardized testing started as an experiment. What gets piloted in private institutions has a long history of being scaled, mandated, or sold to public systems, often without the same resources or safeguards. The forces driving this are bigger than a few ambitious startups. There is genuine frustration with the traditional school system. Stagnant test scores, teacher shortages, a curriculum that hasn't fundamentally changed in decades. Parents across the income spectrum feel it. AI schools are offering a compelling answer to a real problem. Then there's the investment angle. EdTech has been searching for its breakout moment since the iPad era. AI gives these companies a genuine new pitch. Not just digital textbooks, but adaptive, personalized, infinitely patient instruction. Venture capital is flooding in, and that money needs returns. But here's where the stakes get sharp. The children in these programs are, functionally, beta testers. There is no longitudinal data proving that 2 hours of AI instruction produces better outcomes than a full school day with human teachers. The evidence base is thin. The price tag is not. And the skills these schools de-emphasize, collaborative problem solving, navigating a social hierarchy, learning from a human mentor, are precisely the ones that haven't been automated yet. There is a real argument that removing them from childhood creates adults who are brilliant at prompting AI and lost in a room full of people. So what happens next? One of two things. Either these schools produce measurably exceptional outcomes, and the pressure to democratize the model becomes impossible to ignore, or they produce a cohort of well-funded young adults with unconventional educations and the family connections to succeed anyway, making the results impossible to evaluate fairly. Either way, policymakers are almost certainly going to be caught flat-footed. Regulation of AI in education is nascent at best. The federal government has no coherent framework. State rules vary wildly, and the companies building these products have every incentive to move faster than the rules can follow. There's also a geopolitical dimension that doesn't get enough attention. Countries like China and South Korea are making national-level investments in AI-assisted education, not for the top 1%, but for entire student populations. If the United States only explores AI education through the lens of private luxury, It may be ceding the real race entirely. Here's what you should actually take away from this. The wealthy adopting AI education first is not inherently sinister. Early adopters absorb risk so others don't have to. But the pattern only benefits society if the lessons learned flow downward, not just the profits. Watch whether these companies publish independent outcome data, not testimonials, not internal metrics, but peer-reviewed results. Watch whether they lobby for public contracts before that data exists. And watch whether the gap between what wealthy children learn and what everyone else learns gets wider or narrower over the next decade. AI in education could be genuinely transformative, a great equalizer that gives every child access to a patient, personalized tutor regardless of their zip code. Or it could be the next mechanism by which the already advantaged pull further ahead, leaving public schools to catch up with yesterday's tools while their children train on tomorrow's. Which version we get is not a technology question. It's a policy question. It's a values question. And right now, the only people answering it are the ones who can afford $50,000 a year in tuition.